Triple the power. Triple the information. Triple the possibilities. Triple the trouble. Triple the truth. Welcome to the Triple Truth ODDcast.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is ODD back with the Triple Truth ODDcast. And as always, we got my panel of awesome truth seekers. We got Sean Hibbler of Hibbler Productions and Dave from Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Going great. Glad to be here again with my new friends, or my old friends.
Your old new friends, your new
my old new friends.
No, yeah.
How you doing, Matt? What's going on, brother?
I'm good, man. Same stuff. Just trying to move along with Pharmakia Part 2. Got to get that done soon.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I keep looking for it, and I keep finding the original and watching the original again. And it's like, all right, it still holds up. It's still good.
It's fun, yeah. I love that part at the beginning where it's like, it turns into like all of a sudden like a beat, and it starts playing the beat, and then it shows all these like zombie people.
The zombie people.
And then it, yeah, I don't know why I did that, but I kind of edit on the fly myself. Like I just kind of make stuff up as I go, how I'm going to edit the video, right? So it worked out perfectly where I was like, Pharmakia, I gave the definition. And then when I landed on the last word, I like lowered the pitch and then started the beat. And it was all...
Yeah. True producer right there. It's a true producer.
Yeah, it was fun. And then, anyway.
Part 2's coming, though.
Part two, yeah. And I must mention again, it's going to be much different on a, not like the first one, but definitely relevant and worthy of being the sequel. Anyway, so yeah, that's coming. I had a lot of organization to do for this record label thing I'm working on, and just this podcast, this making videos. There's so much stuff, but I'm trying to just pace myself and not stress out. That's one thing I've learned over the past 2 years is how to not stress out. I used to easily get stressed and panic. And now I just, if I have a problem going on, I just go, it'll work itself out. As long as I'm there trying and putting my effort in, everything will be all right.
Yes, it will. It's a good way to think.
So
who we got in the show today, guys?
We got Flat Earth Banjo and Japan, right? That's his handle.
USA,
on YouTube.
Brazil, and Japan.
Yeah, US. Flat Earth Banjo, USA, and Brazil, USA, and Japan.
Yeah.
Some of you are familiar with him. Some of you are not. He is really awesome at connecting flight paths, and especially ones that have had emergency landings. And he compares those landings, where they landed, where they were coming from, their destination, and then shows that it makes more sense on the Gleason's map than it does on the globe. And it truly does. It's always a straight shot. He's very good at that. And he's always my go-to for when I want to show somebody something like that makes, just showing them that it correlates with the Gleason's map. So he'll be here soon. And for those of you that don't know him, you'll get to know him, and we'll have a link to his channel in the description.
Yeah, for sure. What's going on, Dave?
Absolutely. Hey, I have a quick picture I want to show. Amazing, I think. You could share my screen there. The China Mars orbiter snaps an amazing selfie above the red planet. Okay. So China has the ability to discard part of their satellite, and it can take a picture and transmit it back to Earth.
Wow. That is fantastic technology.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, totally cool story.
And they're really claiming this is like real photo.
This is Mars. China's Mars orbiter captures this stunning selfie above the red planet by jettisoning a small camera and beaming photos via Wi-Fi, great Wi-Fi,
whoa,
to the mothership. And then the mothership sends it back to Earth. Meanwhile, at 120,000 feet, the guys on the ground in Arizona or New Mexico can't talk to Felix when he's doing his space jump.
Yeah, show me where it says photograph. Anywhere? Nah.
No.
Oh, image.
At least they don't lie. At least they don't lie about that. But look at that thing. So
wow.
Crazy insanity. This world is just I hold my head.
The NASA fanboys, they eat that stuff up, and it's just incredible to me that
I bet you go on that YouTube video if they made one or like a marketing thing for that. I bet you all the trolls on there, it's like, oh, so the Earth can't be flat now. Look at this. Send this to the flat earthers. It's like, you guys think this is a real photograph? After all these years of everything we've done and shown you, you think these are real? It's like, c'est la vie, man.
We're the stupid ones. Yeah, for real, man.
Have fun with it.
The whole idea of these satellites falling around the Earth while the Earth is making all of these motions in all of these different directions, that's insanity right there. And then it's scientifically provable that the size and the distance these things are away, they'd be unseeable. For example, this is a 747. You can barely see the plane, let alone the engine, which is about the same size as a satellite, maybe. But the satellites are 100, 200, 300 times farther.
Yeah.
Okay. And people believe that they can see them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what's their excuse with that, David? You've had so many debates over the years. Have you heard obviously there's no valid excuse, but have you heard any excuse for that?
Good question.
What, the way that we can see them?
Yeah, like how do these fucking globetards say, oh yeah, well, you know, we could just still see it. So it's just, it should be 200 times farther away, but it's not. So what's their excuse?
Their excuse is, well, you know, it's sending light through empty space, so it'll just maintain its brightness, right? But even though the light is spreading out, it would have to be amplifying at the inverse square law. It makes no sense. One, if they were as bright as the sun, we couldn't see them. They're too small. Okay. But they're supposedly reflecting sunlight. Oh, so I have a crazy theory. You guys ready?
Yeah,
let's do it. So
you've heard me say that I believe that the currency of this world is souls, and evil is trying to steal your soul. A lot of people can buy into that, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that the heavens above are where our souls preside when they're not here in a meat suit in this realm. Okay. Within this realm. So stars are essentially souls in my book. Okay. Yeah. Somehow they're energetic souls. And then the wandering stars, they're all named after gods. So maybe they're more powerful souls. Maybe they're, who knows what they are. Right. And then, and the sun, the whole deal. So they want us to believe this is nothing compared to the amount of satellites that they tell us there are now. Wait, let me pull up on my app. I actually added a button, which I forgot. In the app, if I hit the question mark, wrong one. Hold on. The satellites live. So have you guys seen this website? It shows you these are all of the satellites live, and you can actually zoom in. You're supposed to believe that all of this is going on. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? It could be the Sataloons on the flat map, and then they just wrap it around the ball.
There's no way. There's not
even that many Sataloons, you don't think?
No, I don't think so.
No, right? I mean, of course, they enhance all their numbers for the media.
Yeah. So I can't even, I don't know how to zoom out, but how do I get back out? 3-finger tap? Nope, that brings me in farther. Nope. All right, well, these are all crazy, all over the place insanity. Right.
And you never hear of a report of that, 17 of them crashed and they all fell down and took out a family. Right.
Right. And you have the International Space Station looping around, looping. They
better be careful.
And never collides one. And now you have Elon Musk putting up so many Starlinks that nobody could possibly ever track them. Like you see something in there and you go, oh, that's a Starlink, and maybe the stuff that we're seeing that they're faking it like the ISS, drone, plane, balloons, whatever they are. So why are they doing this? Why? And I have two working things that I like to think about. I don't even want to say I believe them, although I probably do on some level. Okay.
Yeah, right.
That maybe this is more biblical. Maybe this is a time when more angelic energies are returning to Earth. And all of those little lights that we see in the sky are, for lack of a better word, angelic consciousness, beings, angels, whatever you want to call it. And there's more and more of them coming here for whatever this transition that we're going through is. Okay. Yeah. And so they're making it so when people look up and go, what are all those lights? And everyone goes, that's SpaceX. That's all it is. And everybody just, goes back and, and jollies on their way. That's my theory. Okay. That's what I think. I don't know. I'm not saying that anyone else believes it, but I like it.
Sounds nice. I can get on board with that. I can't verify any of that, but
I can't verify it either.
No. Obviously. No. My point in saying that is
I can.
The things we can't. Yeah, right.
I'll let you guys know next week.
You're gonna have the data report. The things we can't verify, it's always good to talk about. And sometimes people give their speculation on everything. And I feel truth to some of the statements that are being said, because you can kind of close your eyes and be like, you know what, that makes sense. I feel that. And then you can hear another story from someone else and you go, that makes sense. I can feel that. I think it's just our own truth. But I don't think we were designed or created to understand all this. But we're having a heck of a time trying to figure it out, aren't we? It's a heck of a time.
I love puzzles and I love roller coasters. So this is a great time to be alive.
Here we go. Wait for it.
Oh boy.
This is how our these are the movements of the Earth and all of them. So this is what's taking
place. Oh, be careful. Hey,
nice one.
Don't spill your coffee.
All right, so it's going to come again, and we got this. Okay, so this is all the planets spinning around the sun as the sun and the whole solar system travels through infinite space. And
all of those satellites are mimicking all of those motions and staying around Earth. And some of them somehow stayed right over the same piece of land on all of those spirals, right?
Yeah.
And then wait, so check this out. Then somewhere, so I can't point, the Earth is one of those going around the sun. The new James Webb telescope is on the outside of the Earth.
Wow.
And somehow it stays there in a special balancing point. After it's jettisoned out of the rocket, still orbiting Earth, it travels 1 million miles and parks itself in Lagrange point 2. Okay. And it can never look back at Earth, I don't believe, because if it does, the sun is in that direction and it'll burn out its sensors. So we're only going to get images of deep space.
Yeah. Keyword image. What is it? What is the definition? Like reproduction or reimpression of in art?
Reiteration or something.
Some shit's like they're telling you right there. This is I wouldn't be. Would you guys be surprised if someone saw this and thought it was real?
They probably.
I think it's real.
Like they had a GoPro on a
What's that?
I don't even know what you would say.
Well, they call it the Great Attractor or something. That the whole solar system's going around. Because it's like the sun of if the sun was a planet, that would be the sun to that. Like we go around.
I don't remember. I slept through most.
Yeah, the Great Attractor is at the middle, and Jaron is always good with knowing these numbers. It's so big. It's so big. It's not even fathomable.
Right.
And it holds everything together. And it's so stupid.
Yeah, there's us.
I'm speechless.
I can't. They haven't even proven the fact that the Earth spins, let alone goes around the sun, and us and the sun are flying around the Great Attractor or whatever.
I love when I go on these shows with these with globe believers, and they have a green screen like I have, and I always start out with this. Whoops, that's not this. I always
brick wall. What does that do?
Yeah, start out with a brick wall. I start out with this, and they always have a spinning fake globe behind them.
Real footage.
I just like to point that out. I go, you're starting your argument with a painting, and I'm starting it out with actual balloon footage that can be verified of a level stationary Earth with a local sun. Yeah. Are we done yet?
Yeah, you already won that one. Unless he pulls out 2 dishes of water, then you might have a challenge, right? 2 bowls of water. That guy, I can't get over that guy. I'm sorry. Where are your feet?
That guy, that guy's a good guy. He's a nice guy. He just
I'm not making fun of him.
I'm making fun of him.
This shit. Some of these debates you have, it's just like, these people. How do you still think this way? Well, you know what? There's people that I know we're on YouTube, but I could say face mask. No, mask.
Yeah.
I say masked face people outside walking their dogs alone. You know, it's like. So yeah, of course they're gonna think it's in 2 bowls of water, and that's the Earth system.
Yeah,
you know, it is what it is. It's the world we live in.
What time we got Mr. Flat Earth Banjo?
Eddie should be in the waiting room. I don't know. Is he in the waiting room?
Nope, no one, not yet. He should be connecting.
He'll be here
shortly.
That's cool.
I send him the link, and he's in Japan, so it's got to go to outer space and then across, and around the Earth and bounce back. How about
underground cables?
Eddie in Japan. You guys get and I don't know when I get it a lot. People are like, what about the attack on Pearl Harbor? That proves we live on a globe, right? I'm like,
I haven't got that one.
I have actually, and recently.
But look at it on a flat Earth map. It's perfect. It's easier on a flat Earth map. It's not that bad on a globe either, except that, we can't live on a globe.
Right.
It's still.
What? Explain it to me. I haven't heard this one.
Let me pull up a map. They're just saying if the Earth was flat, the attack on
how'd they
Harbor
sneak up on us?
Could never have happened. And if we look, where's Japan? I can't say Japan is. Where's the United States? Japan's right over here. Japan's here.
Yeah.
And Hawaii is right out here.
Yeah, you just creep up on them. What do you mean?
You just fly there.
What do they think? They were hiding behind a 4-mile curve?
I don't know.
And waiting because of that curve. They're going to come
programmed to believe that that's a proof. But the other thing is, when you're flying on a spinning ball, what happens when you cross that axis of rotation? Because the Earth is all of a sudden is spinning in the opposite direction.
Right.
Yeah. When you're heading towards the pole, it's spinning from your left to right. And as soon as you pass the pole, it's coming from your right to left. Okay, wrap your mind around that.
I know.
In the airplane.
Globers just, they always think they win an argument because they don't need something like sense to win an argument to them. They just don't need to make any sense.
Yeah.
They need, as long as they regurgitate what sounds smart, which is probably what they went to school for or college or even high school at times. So they think that they're smart with these long words and stuff.
That's just
they'll get ripped apart in any real debate with this shit. They have no evidence.
The programming is on their side, so that's why they feel like they win. Right. That's
why I hate when they're like, "You guys need to prove the flat Earth. You need to prove a map that works or a model."
You don't
that
have
works.
any
it's
proof.
Like,
you don't have any
nothing.
proof of the flat Earth. There's so many proofs of the globe. I'm like,
right.
Wrong.
Yeah. It's like you guys don't have a solid proof that could save your life, but you're asking us for concrete evidence, proof of maps and models. Sorry, maps and models don't make
our map
it a globe
is better
or
than
flat.
their map, and we're gonna have the map expert on today, I believe.
He's good.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear, because I've seen so many maps that look different. The flat one specifically, they all look, some of them look different. Some of them are spaced out differently. He contests to Gleason, and Gleason's a great reference point. I just want to hear kind of the details where he's coming from. I've seen his stuff before, obviously, but kind of want a revamped version of it to go off of because, in this community, it's like we all can't agree on stuff. Well, this is the dumbest thing that we should be agreeing on or disagreeing on. How the heck can any of us know, being regular civilians in this world, if any of these maps check out? We were handed all of them. Right. But it works in the sense of explaining how a geocentric, stationary Earth works and how everything goes around. And there's nothing wrong with that. Unless there's huge flaws, then eventually they can be corrected.
Eddie meticulously, tracks all of these emergency landings, gets all of the details. And for some reason, every time they have an emergency landing, it's right on the line between the origin and destination versus the globe, which is off.
That's big. It's big.
And I think that those are awesome proofs. I want to ask him, because I have my own semi-proven ideas on the long flights, the Santiago to Australia, Santiago to New Zealand.
Like how fast they go around
it's very simple in my mind.
What they call it.
it's
60s.
It's very. I mean, it's very, very simple in my mind. These planes go faster than they tell us. But when you have one where they stop, the stops are in North America. Okay, why would you ever cross the equator?
No,
well, we got to pick up passengers. We gotta. It's not safe to fly. Why? What are you talking about? You got a full plane of passengers that wants to go to Australia. You don't need to go to America. You don't need to cross the equator and go all the way up that way. It's a straight line. You want to go to Western Australia, it's a perfectly straight line the way they go. Bam.
Yeah. And again, that's another thing. They've never had a rebuttal that I've ever heard that is worth a notion in any sense. Their rebuttals for these, they basically want to skip over that part of the debate. Every time I see a debate on this, they want to just kind of fast forward. They kind of get nervous. Because this one's a big one, man. This is one that I included in the first documentary I ever made on this. It's so big.
That map that shows the wind speeds going in circles around the flat version.
Correct. Where everything's.
They've taken that down, right, Dave?
No, it's still on the app. If you go in the app and you hit it's the bottom left button. It's got the little map on it, and they took the original down, the null skull. So this one is called Bob Wins or something like that. You hit the menu and you select 10 HPA, which is my favorite. That's like 40,000 feet. And that one will show you, the winds are pretty slow, except for the center. The pink and the white are the faster winds. But it'll show you at different altitudes, the winds and ocean currents and all sorts of stuff.
Right.
Wow.
At a little lower, that's what it looks like. And so the planes do take advantage of these winds.
Yeah, they go faster because of the winds, right?
Right. And sometimes that Santiago flight has a 5-hour, we got there 5 hours later. They didn't expect the winds didn't cooperate the way they expected. And lots of times those flights are canceled because of the winds.
Some of those flights.
They're like, we're never going to make it.
There's people in the community that have tried to book these certain flights that every time they book them, it ends up turning to be a problem. Like right when it's about to go down. Like
I've heard of that too. Because I really wanted someone to actually try to do that. I think someone we knew.
I think we did, and we had Max Egan. He was booked on the flight, and we tracked him. You guys remember? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I don't remember that now.
Yeah, so we tracked him. He proved that he got on the flight, and he's on a direct flight, and he was supposed to take compass readings the whole time, but he was cranky and fell asleep. But the compass readings he took only made sense on a flat Earth. I think it was Rob Skibo or maybe Jaron and Bob did it. They put his compass readings, and it literally led them right across the flat Earth.
Yeah.
Here's his compass. Whoops, wrong one.
Been trying to I have friends that talk to him, and I've been wanting to see if we could get him on the line, because I know he's got some interesting stuff going on in his life. Be cool to touch base with him.
So he expected to be going from Santiago and kind of going south, and then southwest.
Yeah.
But his compass readings were saying northwest, then west for a very short period of time. That's because west is only for a short period of time when you're going in a straight line, because immediately you're going southwest, south. And so those were his readings. And, that doesn't. He was a full-on flat Earth hater because of the way, flat earthers can be very aggressive and mean sometimes. And so when you do that, he was admittedly not being fair to flat Earth. He was like, screw this, and then he finally woke up. This helped wake him up. And over time, he's like, okay, I don't know what this world is, but it's not a globe. So that's all I ever asked for.
That means he's a flat earther. He just doesn't know it yet.
He knows it. He doesn't want to be labeled. And I get it. I want to be labeled a flat earther. I'm owning it.
Hell yeah.
I don't care what anybody
Flat
calls
Earth
me.
Dave.
I'm just me.
Flatties.
You can call me anything. Just don't call me a glober. Fighting words.
Globe head.
Yeah, man. So I think we got Flat Earth Japan coming in.
Flat Earth Banjo, let's go.
Flat Earth Banjo, Japan.
Yeah, he's connecting right now. We'll give him a few seconds, guys.
All right. So
hopefully a lot of you will remember him as soon as you see him. But he's been around for a while doing a lot of stuff.
As soon as you hear him,
with the Flat
he's
Earth.
got a more distinct voice than Dave from New York.
yeah, he's cool, man. I think it's awesome that people take the time to learn English and they get good at it. And like, there's so many ignorant Americans that can't even fathom understanding another language. Like,
Eddie, your audio's on. Can you turn your camera on?
I should be. How do I?
Hey, Eddie. Thanks for joining us.
John, request has turned his camera on if you click his
I just did.
on.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Hey, there he is.
Yo, what's up, buddy?
What's going on?
How are you, man?
Good.
Good to see you.
It suits you, David. I like your t-shirt. I'm wearing my As It Is Gleason's map.
That's right. Represent.
I think I wore that shirt last week. Good choice.
Yeah. Yeah. How you guys doing, man? It's snowing here.
It's snowing here too in Denver, Colorado.
Denver? It's still in Denver?
Yeah.
I thought you had moved to Florida.
I did, and it was with the girlfriend that it didn't work out with. We're still friends. I moved back home.
Okay. All right.
Welcome to the show, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Really
Eddie, what is that ridiculous map behind you?
Man, this is the best representation of our flat Earth. That's what it is.
It's better than the globe, that's for sure. The biggest question I get about the map is, why is Australia so wide? How do you answer that?
Okay, I got that question sometimes. Actually, back in the 90s, there was a documentary, which I have been trying to find the documentary. I can't find it anymore. The guy recorded 5,000 miles from one coast to the other.
Yep.
And I still believe Australia is over 4,000 miles wide. Okay. I can't go there and, prove it myself, but because I take, a baseball Brazil. Brazil is wide and takes, a week if you want to cross from the Atlantic to the Pacific, will take a week. And the United States, I did this in 3 days. Wow. I went from Georgia to California to San Diego in three and a half days.
Oh, wow.
Driving. But you can't do that in Brazil, in South America.
Well, the Globers will claim it's the bad roads.
No, you can still drive, 60 miles per hour. You can. So, it's just like Brazil is a huge country, takes several days for you to, even if the bad road would start from the point where Brazil ends and Bolivia, Peru, those countries start. But Brazil is a wide country. It takes 3 days just to cross from the Atlantic to the border with Bolivia. Yeah, man.
Well, it's a good observation that you have, man. Obviously for me personally, I've never really contested to any map. This is one of the ones that I will show people in terms of showing them the flat Earth and how everything would work. I just, I would love to know with the Gleason specifically, because again, I think you always show the Gleasons.
Yeah.
Out of the other flat Earth maps that are similar, they're similar to that. Maybe a little bit things moved or more brought in. Do you look at those maps as just bullshit, or do you look at those maps as like kind of the same as this, where it's like, oh well, it's a good depiction of it, or are you looking at the Gleason map as like the only map that could possibly work with this flat Earth?
The Gleason's map is more precise. Like Gleason's, he was a engineer. Mm-hmm. So it's really precise the way he did all the coordinate system and, the time zones. The other maps, there is this Portuguese map, which dates back to 1500s. And the shape of the continents are always more or less the same.
Okay. So
you have an idea, the shape of the continents are more or less the same, you know? So, and it goes around. So we have here with the Gleason's map, a very good representation what this, Earth is. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And you do a good job of showing why you believe that with the emergency landings often in your videos. And I think that's pretty cool. Often people will be totally against the map based off of something they've seen in the sky, like the sun, the way it moves. And again, they're not looking at the ground. They're taking their eyes off the ground and looking up at something else that could possibly be working with multiple optical illusions and just work in a way that we have no idea how the sun works and operates. Go ahead.
Good. No, go ahead. Finish.
I'm done.
My observation is when you look at the map and look at my clock with the sun going around, I can call somebody in Sydney when the sun is over them. And I say, what time is it? They say it's 12 o'clock. It's noon. And I can call somebody when the sun's over South America. What time is it? It's noon. So wherever the sun is, it is noon in that spot in the world. That is beyond strong evidence, right?
Yeah, the sun being right above you at noon.
Now people say, well, what about the 17 hours of sunlight in Yeshua or wherever it is? And my answer is, well, there isn't 17 hours of sunlight. There is 17 hours of daylight. And that has to do with the optics of the sky and the lighting of the dome, if you will. And depending on your altitude and, what other lands are in the distance, because, lands with mountains beyond where you can see will make the sun set, it'll block the light because the sun that we see is so low and those mountains will block all of the light.
Yeah. And also, David, you pointed out this a long time ago. There's a difference between daylight and sunlight.
Yeah.
I think that when the sun is here on the Tropic of Cancer, I think the sun and the sunlight and the daylight is synced, you know? But when they are at the outer, when the sun is at the Tropic of Capricorn, it's out of sync. So it's like you have daylight and sunlight and two extended parts of the earth, So because there are two different lights, according to the Bible, daylight came first. The fourth day, we have the sunlight. So we do have two sources of lights. We do. And when it's right there, I think it's when the sunlight and daylight is out of sync. And, that's why parts of Australia and South America gets light at the same time. Not sunlight, because when the sun is in South America, Australia does not get the sunlight, but it still have some daylight. That's my view.
Right. So somebody made a video about sunlight and daylight being totally different, and it was a great video. I forgot his name.
And the way I see it is when the sun is heading out towards Capricorn, it's getting closer to whatever we want to say the dome is, whether it's just the limit of our vision, the sky. Personally, I think there is some sort of physical dome up there. I don't know what it is or how it terminates. That's my belief. And you know what? If somebody has a different belief, let's have that discussion because we both know it's not a spinning ball. But when you get the light out there, that light wraps around, right? Yeah. Just like we're seeing here. There's daylight over here. The sun's over here. And then the other evidence, I think I mentioned this. I don't know if I mentioned it on our show or sorry, I get my shows mixed up.
You got a lot of shows going on, yeah.
Is sunsets when this time of year in December, when the sun is out near Capricorn, in the south in some areas are dark 5 minutes after sunset, pitch black. And in the inner north, when the sun's closer and going smaller, it's curving around us. It's staying near us. And we have light.
We get more daylight for
2 hours. Like in June and July, the sun is set, and 2 hours later, I can still see.
Yeah.
So that again, the fast sunset in the south says a faster linear speed that the sun that we see is taking.
Yeah, I follow.
So you agree? You think that Australia is being represented accurately on Gleason's? Is that what?
I think so, man. I do. The coordinates on the Western Australia and the Eastern Australia are the same. And I do believe. I really, I mean, it's hard because you personally cannot go there, and,
Of course.
But I had a Zoom meeting with Australian people not long ago, and they say, "Well, this country is huge. We drive forever, and we never,
It never
takes
stops.
longer. Yeah, it takes longer than they say that it should take for them." So I hear that from Australians themselves saying that,
Right. Yeah, and I don't see the only reason why people can't get it across their heads is because they've spent their whole lives looking at it being smaller on other maps. That's it.
Right.
That's all
Exactly.
reason.
Yeah, I think the shapes of the continents are all. I'm sure that it's bigger in some sense. I think I feel as if along the way, the rulers of the world, they started to look at it. I can't call it a racial thing, but what they did was they made the white countries bigger than they were for visual aspects. We're big.
Yeah.
And then they made the Africa and the Latin countries, they shrunk them down like they're these tiny little things. I feel like Africa is probably the biggest country in the world, but you could look at some of these past maps, it's almost the same size as North America in half of them.
Right.
It's crazy. So that's why I just personally can't contest to a map, but I enjoy the Gleason's map because it's very easy to show things on it, especially flight routes.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
The hypocrisy from the Globers is like they attack the Gleason's map, while in every school they have the Mercator there, which distorts completely.
Complete distortion, I know.
Everything above the equator. It's a lot of hypocrisy right there.
Well, even the world map they have, Eddie, the world map, the one that they pull down and it's a flat paper, right? So I'm not going to say that's a flat map. No. So they pull down this world map and you see the equator and there's land there. It's like, wait, there's a country on the equator? I didn't know that. That's hilarious. Yeah. And it just goes over everybody's head. So I just like to find more out about what you found using the Gleason's map that maybe I missed along the way, because I like learning. So
okay, I'm working on a video right now, and it's amazing how many people have come to Flat Earth just by looking at this map.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is my experience because I worked with the airlines before. I work in international cargo. And we shipped stuff all over, and I couldn't understand why we were, living in São Paulo, Brazil, South America, shipping things to Australia. Yeah. We had to go to North America. I had no idea. Because I had never seen this map before. So when I saw it back in 2015 and early 2016, immediately, man, that clicked immediately. That's why I use this a lot when comparing a flight from Rio to Sydney that goes all the way up to Los Angeles. Yeah. Because, it all makes sense on the Gleason's map. And everyone who sees this map, it clicks right away. It clicks right away. So, that's why I think they don't like this map, because it wakens people up,
right. Jaron always tells the story where Missa told him the earth was flat and said she was crazy. And then a while later, he saw the map and he goes, oh, bam, click.
Yeah, immediately, man.
Yeah.
Like that image you have there, like that flight from Lima, Peru to Sydney. There was a missionary, a Peruvian missionary. He bought a ticket to fly directly. That was 30 years ago. From Lima to Sydney, okay? And then made a stop in LA, Yeah. It's another thing, man. When he saw this map, immediately things clicked to him,
Yeah. Why would you ever cross the equator when going between two southern locations? Because never, Eddie, have you found any instances where somebody's going from a northern location to another northern location where they cross the equator once?
Never.
Yep. But in the South, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
And I've been looking at this stuff forever. You don't find. North to north is pretty easy. South to south, you got to cross because the earth is flat. So you have to cross the equator to ice.
Eddie, let me ask you, what's your because this is speculation. Obviously, what's your speculation on what's past the Antarctic shoreline?
Okay, I
Or
do
ponds,
believe there is
shoreline.
more land. I do believe there's more, but I think there is a limit. Okay, so of course you have to. Some people don't like the Book of Enoch. I personally like it. I've read like 3 times, and talks about places where that Enoch has been, and I believe are those lands beyond Antarctica.
Right.
And I even believe that the Lake of Fire, man, it's beyond the dome, whatever. There's a Lake of Fire there, because it talks about this Lake of Fire. It's got to be there, somewhere there, because it's not in here,
So
And
if there's more land, I also think there's more land. I think everybody on the show right now think there's more land. Obviously we can't verify it. That's why I said think. But if we all think there's more land, if you look at David's map right now, are you putting this dome over all of this? Or like, how do you speculate that in your head? Or would it just be in the center?
Okay. Yeah, it's really hard because like when I made that video about the Nemo's Garden, that's there's water beyond I think, man, before you reach the dome, you'll see, probably where the angels are in chains. The Bible talks about some angels being chained, like because they have transgressed. So I think that's why, we cannot go there, because we're going to see things that we are not supposed to see, either the Lake of Fire, either those, Nephilims.
Yeah, it's very possible that a part of the reason for the treaty and hiding that there's more land, there could very well be something biblical out there, something that would just blow your mind. Like, what the fuck? It could be like a Back to the Future portal where you jump in and you go back to the 20s, right? So we just don't know. I mean, we can speculate forever, right? All of us can
speculate forever. Yeah.
But no, it's good, man. I just wanted to know, because I wanted to make sure that you were aware that there's probably more land. So
yeah. There is more land.
For sure.
No, I don't know how far. 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles.
There could be. I talked to Matt about this before. There could be more land in just our center of
in our
Earth
space.
Like the map behind you. There could be another. There just could be. It just they never drew it out, or they didn't get to that land by that time, and that when that map was made, and they they didn't want to tell anybody. So
yeah,
for sure.
I had a great point and I lost it. It'll come back.
It's my fault. It's my fault. I have my rant. Go ahead, Matt. Let's go. What you got?
Matt, you're muted.
Hey, Matt, you're muted.
Gotcha. There we go. Sorry. Gleason's wrote a book. A lot of people don't know that, especially the newcomers getting in. But the Gleason map, Alexander Gleason wrote a book called "What is the Bible from Heaven? Is the Earth a Globe?" And in the book, people have looking at the map. They've looked at the map, and it says as is. This is scientifically accurate as it is, right? And so people they try to dance around that and come up with a different explanation as to why it says that. They're not saying he's saying that it's flat. They're just saying that the land layout is correct, but it's still a ball. But if you get the book, Alexander Gleason has a spot in here. He talks about exactly how he made that map, and he states that he basically is a flat earther, and he spends a lot of time in this book talking about there's no proof for the globe, and why it's a good book to have, I've never heard of it, man. What is it called again, Matt? It's called "Is the Bible from Heaven? Is the Earth a Globe?" Alex Gleason. When was it written?
It's like 18 something.
18 something. Yeah, 18 something.
1890 copyright.
Wow.
I could get on board with that. I mean, mid 1800s, everything past then, I can get on board with. Before mid 1800s, don't count me
there. Right around that time, so many people. There was like a us.
Oh yeah, then. I can imagine
a huge outburst of flat earthers trying to. Because that's when the globe was just coming in, and people were like, no, trying to keep it back, like keep it at bay and not let it in. And despite all these awesome flat earthers putting out this great material back then, the globe still came in and dominated due to the media having a lot of control over people's minds with Universal, their spinning logo coming out in 12 was the introduction of that. Right after TV was, becoming very popular.
Yeah, and it was the 40s when they started putting it before movies, I believe, right? The 30s or 40s when they started putting it before. And that's the funny
spinning
part
globe? I thought it was 1927.
The first time?
Like, shit, makes my point even better. How do they know? And it's like they didn't even change it. They just made it more 3D now. It's
it was before NASA ever did anything.
Exactly.
You're right. That's the point.
It's crazy how Globers can't see that they already had this bullshit plan.
It happened to look just like the way they depicted
exactly
it. Exactly
the same.
Logo. Yeah.
So there's the proof of the globe map from 1920, right? For Hollywood. Yeah.
The book I mentioned is in the book section on the app. Just scroll down. It's linked in there. I was afraid I didn't have it, but now I do.
Oh, okay.
And,
awesome.
So if you're ever looking for good books, they're there. And if any books, any great flat earth books, send me an email. If they're not there, I'll add them to the app and link them where you can get them. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I have a huge PDF folder full of stuff that you might not even have seen. So I'll send that to you.
You got Iron Republic on there, Dave?
That's right up top. You hit
someone I know was trying to find that and they're like, it's sold out. I'm like,
top right. It's right there. Bam.
Very nice.
Nice.
And that's that book.
Great.
You know what I love about that book? Even if it's not true, now my spidey senses tell me it's true. And no, I'm not Spider-Man. But my spidey senses rings true. It feels true to me. But even if it wasn't true, in the 1800s, they're talking about more land beyond Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just put your mind around that.
Yeah, I think eventually the coalitions got together and said, we can't let people keep knowing about this. We have to bury it and we have to start NASA.
Guys, there's a Veritas Radio did an interview with a Spanish speaking gentleman who worked special ops and went on a mission in Antarctica. Now, this is just hearsay. Not hearsay. It's his story. And he talks about when they went into the outer lands of Antarctica, there's like a place where no engines work. And then he talks about this cube. Have you guys ever heard about the cube in Antarctica?
No,
I've heard a little bit.
I'm gonna send you guys the link to it, and maybe we can link it in the description also. It's really hard interview to do because Mel interviews him in Spanish, and then Mel puts on his headphones and talks both parts. So he's translating, and so the inflections are a little off. But stick with it. Even just the first hour, it's mind blowing. What this realm is, what's going on here, and what's beyond the shore of Antarctica. So I highly recommend people listen to that.
Yeah. And like Eddie was saying, he likes the book of Enoch, and a lot of Christians look down on it. There's a reason why that book is missing from the current Bibles that we get. So just want to throw that out there.
I want to look into it. Yeah. Eddie, same question, but for the North Pole. What do you think's going on over there? After, I'm sure you've researched a ton of stuff. I don't know how long it's been since you researched the North Pole, but what's your 2 cents on that? I mean, is it magical up there, you think? Is that why they spun it into Santa?
Yeah, not Santa. Yeah, definitely. Of course. It's interesting, man. Let me tell you this. I think 2022 will be a great year for Flat Earth, okay? You just have 2 channels, Brazilian channels. One has 400,000 subscribers. The other one has over 500,000.
Very nice.
And they both, at the same time, they say the Earth is flat. Cool. And one guy, this Brazilian guy, he lived in Russia, and he speaks Russian, and he was talking about the North Pole. And he was saying, like nobody gets there. The Russians, they take care of that piece of land. Nobody approaches that. I think they have a basis in 82 degrees north, and that's the most. Nobody goes to 90 degrees. I don't know, man. Mount Meru, probably. Mount Meru, that's where, the
magnetic mountain.
Yes.
I'm sure it's, that's my point. I'm sure it's biblical up there too. And a lot of people, including myself, always talk about the South and more land, but it's like in my head, it's like maybe we should be heading north because it's what the fucking compass says, right? So it's like they're showing you there's a force going over there. Maybe there's something really crazy up there, man. I just didn't know how you felt about it.
I think there's a Chinese move where they were exploring and they saw Mount Meru, you know. There's a Chinese movie about it, you know.
Right. I've seen a fantasy movie that was similar, something called Mount Zoo, the Warriors of Mount Zoo, something like that. But it seemed like it correlated with the North Pole. Anyway, the what is it called? The Rupus Nigra?
Yeah.
The Black Mountain.
Yeah.
And that's where it would be all made out of the material that the magnets point towards. And it's
I remember in elementary school, they sat us all down and we watched the documentary about the guys going to the North Pole, and they made it look so brutal and so horrible. And the dogs are freezing to death. And basically, they got there, and then at the end, they're like, "Hey, we made it." The GPS, 5 feet, 4 feet, we're there. And then it's dark and they're frozen. Their fingers are falling off. And then it ended. And I go to the teacher. I was like, "How did they get out?" And now they got to do that all again, get out, and they're like, "Oh, well, they did that, but they didn't film it, but they were running out of food and everything." And basically the message that it sends is never anybody that watches that says later in life, "I want to go to the North Pole." Right. And I think that's the purpose. That is the sole purpose of that video.
Well, I think it's a big purpose too. That's why the Santa Claus phase started as well.
Exactly.
I think once they knew what the North Pole was, what it is, what it still is, what it can be, again, it could, like my other theory, it could be it could be a Back to the Future portal up there. How the hell are we supposed to know? But since they're hiding it, they wanted to turn that into fantasy, and that's usually what they do. They take the truth, they turn it into fantasy. So this way, if any of us go to someone on the street and say, "Did you know the North Pole has this, this, and this?" There's possibility, you start speculating with the North Pole on the flat Earth, and they're like, "Cool, yeah, okay," and you say hi to Santa Claus. The indoctrination is so heavy with the North Pole that's a big one to get to people, that the North Pole is a special place because they always default to Santa. It's so pre-programmed in their head. Obviously, we all know Santa's bullshit, but even as adults, regular people in the streets, they can. It seems like that's the hardest thing to break through to people is how magical the North Pole could be. I just feel like I wish there was a way we can get some more evidence in any way. Like, where's the Iron Republic book for the North Pole? I want to read that. That's all I'm trying to say.
A lot of places do make it out to be brutal, but even flat Earth books have said that they've gone on voyages and that it's really tough to get to. And it kind of reminds me of some things I've seen in movies, like the recent King Kong movie had. They depicted an island that was surrounded by a perpetual storm system, and the island was really hard to get to. This island that King Kong lived on, and they could barely get to the island because of the storm was so harsh. And wow, I wonder if it's scare tactics to not go there, or if there actually is some sort of storm that's tough to get through.
Who knows? Just the Aurora Borealis itself is so magical, and who knows? Imagine standing right underneath the center of that, and
what is it?
We need to go storm over there, man. I feel like it's such a smaller circumference of what they're guarding that we could just 1 million, 2 million people at a time just go. I think it'd be a lot harder to do the south part of it all. Maybe the north, we just rush the north and just.
It might be easy.
Get some camcorders, and maybe they're like, we have no fear someone's going to rush the north. There's no everything. This is all North Pole fantasy for the world. So they might not be on guard as much as we think over there. We'll just slip in and sneak in. We'll stream live from there.
I mean, if there's a magnetic mountain, which something is up there making our compasses work, it's got to be something. I mean, like maybe a sheet of ice.
Maybe it's the creator is magnetic. Maybe God is there, and all of our compasses point towards God.
The North Star, God's seat, his footstool or something. His seat, something like that.
Imagine though, getting through, and then you just see, who knows what it is, but just, I'm sure the energy too. I'm sure you feel that vibration. It could be like the strongest vibration of love, whatever. And you get there. Who knows?
So
there
cool.
was a story. I forget. I heard it a while ago about somebody like Captain Cook that went there, and they said as they kept going, they're going through the ice and it's getting rougher, and all of a sudden it got warmer, and then the water got warmer, and then there was no more ice, and then the air and the water, they couldn't tell where one stopped and the other one began, and there was like some really weird stuff. I wish I could find that story. Maybe if somebody has it, they can point it out to me.
Yeah, put in the chat if anybody knows what he's talking about.
Very, very interesting. Hey, Eddie, I want to ask you, I want to complain about your book, 16 emergency landings that prove flat Earth. You offer it for free to PDF. That's great. But the printed book, which it's not too bad, especially Lulu has these sales all the time. The problem I have with the book is I've bought 3 of them and people keep stealing them and they don't return them. Okay. So people sit down, they pick it up, they start reading. They're like, they're looking at the Gleason's map. They're looking at the flight routes. They're scratching their heads. They're like, can I borrow this? And I'm like, as long as you bring it back. And then they never bring it back.
I want to tell something about this book. It hasn't been debunked. Never.
Right.
Okay. Never. It has never been debunked. Now, this channel also in Mexico, this guy wasn't a flat earther and said, well, I'm going to put this book to the test, live streaming. He went to Google Earth and he started connecting the flights. By the end of his show, he was a flat earther. The guy also has like 150,000 subs.
That's big.
And it hasn't been debunked. I mean, I have, David know a little bit of the story. I have some medical problems, and 2 years ago, I was going to stop making videos, okay, because I have this thing called adrenal insufficiency. My cortisol level is really low. I was going to stop making videos. I was sick. And then this guy, that pilot from Australia, he threatened me, I was going to spend a year in New Zealand, and he threatened to come over, pay me a visit and take me to court, over this book. And I said, well, Zen Garcia was taken to court and he won because the guy couldn't prove the bullet for the judge. Right. And Zen Garcia won the case. So I told him, so go ahead and take me to court, prove to the judge that I'm wrong. And, they just can't because the flight routes make more sense on the flat Earth map. Yep. And this is a good book. It's expensive because it's color, and I don't get a profit. I minimize my profit. Yeah. So people can have it in color because it's a nice book to.
It's a great coffee table book. I love it, and if anybody picks it up, they're poisoned for life. They become flat earthers.
Yeah, I had the black and white version. I didn't like it. I said I don't want my friends, subs to have a black and white because it doesn't look good.
Hey, Eddie, it's less expensive than my book. It's like a quarter of the price, a third of the price.
Wow.
Your book is awesome too.
Yeah, but my book's too expensive. I wanted to do it. Everyone's like, take pre-orders, get 1,000 of them and then it'll get the price down. I got to take the time and do that. But I order them one at a time and they're like $130, $140, which is a lot. It's a heck of a lot, but I like it.
Yeah, but nobody. I mean, I've been getting emails from pilots, from other people, and they cannot. They can compare one flight to the globe, but they can't do all the 16. There's no way. There's no way.
Nah. And has somebody even tried at all?
Oh yeah. They tried, but they can't. 2 years on the market, they can't debunk my book.
Yeah,
they can't.
No, it's obvious that they
facts.
Facts.
Yeah.
They landed where they landed, and it correlates
how
it correlates with the flat Earth map
the
Gleason.
Eddie, how do you think they do the nonstop from Santiago to Australia or New Zealand? Now, good.
Okay, let me explain this real quick. Okay, a lot of people don't know that to be a pilot, there's no science in flying an airplane. You know, it's something that you learn just like you learn how to drive. Okay, there's no science. But I have a master's degree in the science field. I know a lot about the environment. We live in an active atmosphere. Okay, the oceans are active. They harvest energy they have special buoys in the oceans where they harvest energy. We have the wind turbines, which harvest energy from the winds. Mm-hmm. We live in a very active atmosphere, okay? So when pilots are flying, that's the thing they say they adjust for the curvature. No, you have westerly winds, you have easterly winds, you have winds that blows from the top down. You have winds blowing from the ground up to the sky. So in the middle of this, the airplane is fine. So the automatic pilot has to adjust for all of that stuff. It's not about curvature. And we have these jet streams around the flat Earth, which reaches a speed of almost 250 miles per hour. And it's just like when you're going downstream, you know, it's easy for you to go downstream a river. You add your speed to the speed of the river going down. I mean, it's the same thing. When the airplane gets on those jet stream, if it's flying 500 miles per hour, ground speed, adds another 250 miles. And there's another thing also. When an aircraft is flying, they automatically, you add 20% more of the speed of the ground speed. Let's say if it's flying 500, if the pilot says, well, we are flying 500 miles per hour ground speed, you can add another 100 miles right there because automatically it's called TSP, something like that. There's a name for that. Mm-hmm. It's airspeed, something airspeed. It adds automatically 20%, you know? So those airplanes going from Santiago, actually, they got to come from Sydney to Santiago because the flight back takes like 17 hours because it goes, you know, against the wind. They find another jet stream going to that direction. Yeah. So you're always coming from Sydney to Santiago. That's faster, never going back because they come with the jet streams.
And there's huge variations in their landing time. Sometimes the plane's 5 hours late. I've seen, and that's because the wind stream, the jet stream isn't cooperating. I talk about it all the time, and I got to look it up again. But when they first had the direct flight, the Qantas direct flight, we looked up about the airplane, and one of the articles we found talked about it having 7 layers of heat-resistant paint. Well, what does that say to anybody? 7 layers of heat-resistant paint. It's going faster than they tell us. Yeah, it's going faster than they tell us, and to believe that planes haven't gotten faster since the 1970s is ridiculous. That's like, I mean, the only things that go backwards are, or stay stagnant are planes and, trips to the moon. We can't go anymore because we don't have that 1960s and 70s technology.
No, we don't have aluminum foil anymore. No.
So with the jet stream, a plane that can fly a little faster, a small handful of military pilots that are the only ones that are allowed to fly that plane, it's the simplest parlor trick in the world.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yes.
True that. Real quick, guys, we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to keep this whole show on YouTube for you guys this time as a freebie. And we're going to play some of Flat Earth, Banjo, Brazil, USA, Japan, some of his work. Sorry if I got that mixed up a little bit. We're going to put his link in the description. We're going to cut to some of his work right now. So enjoy that. We'll be right back.
So we have here. All right, let me read it for you. Moscow, an Emirates passenger plane en route from San Francisco to Dubai made an emergency landing at Moscow's Domodedovo airport after one of its passengers felt sick, a source at the airport told TASS on Sunday. Okay, so another flight from North America to the Middle East that made an emergency landing in Moscow. So let's look here. San Francisco, okay, this is the black line here, San Francisco. Let's say they flew over the Atlantic again, right? They would have to fly over the Atlantic and then Spain, Italy, Turkey, and then Dubai. Okay, that's the route. Or if they flew over the Pacific, they would have flown over China, all the way to Pacific, and San Francisco. Right? So, where's Moscow? Why stopping in Moscow? Okay, Moscow is up here. Okay, this circle here is Moscow. Right? Dubai, right here. Okay, makes no sense. So, one more time, if we look here, San Francisco. Okay, get this closer. San Francisco. Right? Dubai. Okay, this blue line right here. San Francisco, Dubai. Moscow. Right? They landed in Moscow. Okay. All right, we got 2 more flights.
All right, everybody, we're back. We're keeping this again special. This is going to be all free on YouTube and on Rockfin. So we're not doing any harm by talking about just flat Earth stuff. Obviously, they don't really censor it that tough. They just shadow ban it over here on YouTube. So we don't see any reason why we can't do the whole show this time here.
Yeah, keep it flat Earth friendly. We'll be good to go for you guys.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, we got any more questions, Freddie? Let's go.
Yeah, Sean, you had a question about the Gleason's map.
Refresh my memory.
You were good. I forget what it was.
I said something about like, what's the main problem?
Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry, the break threw me off a little. In Europe, I mean, obviously you're representing this map to the T. You stand by it, which is fine. I was asking you what kind of insults you get, or what kind of, this doesn't work on this map, and this map is stupid and it doesn't work, and you're representing some fake shit, and what have you heard, and how have you rebutted it?
Okay, each and every one of those complaints that I get, it's about the luminaries, you know. Even the pilot from New Zealand, you know, I mean from Australia, is always saying, oh no, but the sun sets here, not there. And I told him once to say, well, no, you have a nice pair of, you have a telescope, go to the sea. There is a lighthouse 60 miles from Sydney Harbor. If you see it, the Earth is flat. I mean, that's what you got to focus on here, not on the luminaries, because the Gleason's map is not made to map the sky. It was made to map the land, the Earth, you know, not the sky. It's not a star map. It's not a luminary map. It's a land map. Okay, so we focus on things that happen here. Emergency landings, you know, flight routes. It all matches with Gleason's map. And also the equator. If you see any like thermal images of the equator, this region here is always red because it's hot. It means the sun circles that region twice a year. Otherwise, it wouldn't be hot there. My father was from that region, Brazil, right at the equator. It's really, really hot. And if you go to the Philippines, all these countries here in Asia, or in Zanzibar in Africa, it's hot because the sun is circulating that region twice a year. So, I mean, but other than that, the Gleason's map is not a star map. It's not a moon map. It's not a sun map. It's a map of the land. Okay.
You know, and when they show the heat map that he was talking about,
that's
it. And the heliocentric model, the sun rays are coming in, the Earth is spinning. How come the heat is going this way? How come it isn't, you know, it shouldn't care the tilt of the ball. It shouldn't be going, and it makes perfect sense. If the sun is circling within these lines, within this area, well, there's the heat map.
Yeah, the heat map, the thermal.
This
map.
show this and this is just this on a ball, and this one makes sense. This one does not make sense.
Exactly, you got it.
Good point.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, they complain every time, man. They complain about the maps. Oh, the sun sets. Okay, we're talking about the land, not about whatever is.
It's always the sky. Yeah, that's always.
Yeah.
It's always our argument. Is this? That's not. Yeah, it's like no, we're looking down here. You know?
Eddie, the lights on your ceiling dictate the shape of your floor. You know that.
No, my floor here is square and my lamp is round. So, I mean,
so
sense.
your floor is round.
It's got to be.
No, it's square.
Round.
The lights are round. Yeah.
My ceiling fan is also. My ground is spinning. It's got 5 blades.
Yeah.
Since the fan's going around your head, that means the earth's moving. That means your house is moving. The fan is still. The fan is still. Matt, didn't you know that?
Yeah.
And you can't feel it because it's a steady speed.
Yeah.
It's a steady speed.
That's a good one.
I saw the new trailer for level 2. Okay.
Oh, the next level?
Really
Thanks,
great.
man.
Yeah, next level. I want to talk about this guy, Vika from Spain. He's coming up with a documentary now in February. It's all about flights. He got a whole bunch of pilots together, flight engineers, and I myself is going to be part of it.
Very nice. What's it going to be called?
Flatten the Curve.
Flatten the Curve.
Flatten the Curve.
Very
it's coming out in February. It's just about flights and flat Earth. All flat Earthers, man.
I'm looking forward to that.
Is it going to take 2 weeks to make?
It's been made. No, man.
Anybody?
We've been working on this since last year.
Come on, I'll be here all day. 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I understand.
That was funny. Come on.
I forgot it. That was years ago.
Nothing.
I forgot about it.
That
was
nothing.
Sorry, it was years ago when they said that. I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So it's. I mean, everything. Like the work that Hibler's doing. Everyone, man, we are playing the parts of opening people's eyes. That's what you have to do. You gotta open people's eyes. And it's been difficult on YouTube, but I see Flat Earth growing, even though all this censorship going on. I mean, it's amazing, man. My channel is small compared to you guys, but I get so many messages, man, every day. People are, saying, man, the Earth is really flat, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. The butterfly effect's out of control. It's always flat earthers. There's new flat earthers every day. No one that became a flat earther stopped becoming a flat earther. So they're already a flat earther. There's new ones coming out every day. This is only growing. It's only going to keep growing with people like us in this podcast right now. And of course, others. We just going to keep doing what we do. And eventually we're going to live in a world where if you think you live on a globe, you're the outcast. Yeah, you're the outcast. You're going to be the outcast.
Very small handful of people that have switched, and they are obviously, and it's just obvious that they're one of 2 or 3 things. It's like they did it on purpose. They act like a flat earther for a minute, and then they go back and then right. I was a flat earther for 2 years, and then I realized
what's the clown's name that went to one of those conferences and he. He's like a celebrity kind of. He has like I forgot his name.
Paul. What's his name?
Paul Logan.
Logan. Whatever. Like, come on, man. He was brought in to pretend like he was a flat earther, and then he wanted to make fun of it afterwards. And he got a lot of people who might have genuinely be interested in the flat earth to go, oh, what is he going to say about it? And then he became this big troll, and they try to damper the flat earth from every angle. And I'm not going to stand for that. And I don't think any of us want to stand for that shit anymore.
Eddie, I want to talk about a video you made not long ago. I'm showing here. It's about the sun rays and the time zones, right? And so you got your sun rays coming in, you got your time zone. And if we switch to this, so here are your time zones. All the time zones, follow this if you guys haven't seen this.
Exactly.
Go from the north to the south. They're straight lines on a curved ball, right? They're not, they're going south or north. And it's south, essentially, And so you have all of these time zones. So somebody here is in the same time zone as somebody here. Right? And if we could spin it and go over to North America, and South America, you would have people in the same time zones. But there's a problem because this doesn't account. These are the time zones as they show us, but you have to remember the ball is tilted.
Exactly.
So how many time zones do they move over?
2, like there's a difference of 2 hours, when you tilt the ball.
Right. So here, I got the image right here.
That's why they make you put your clocks back. You better pay.
So this is what orders. They show us. But in reality, if you tilt the ball, people here are in a different time zone than people over here.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So that doesn't work.
No,
it doesn't work.
This alone right here proves that doesn't prove we're not on a globe. It proves the globe's not tilted. Okay.
There you go.
We could still
there's no globe.
Proves
there's no globe.
How do you add a tilt? Yeah, it's just so stupid.
So, but people don't think this far. This isn't that hard, right? This is the time zones that they show us, right? Yeah. Somebody here is in the same time zone as somebody here, period. Everyone's in these time zones, but the earth is tilted.
Yeah, they won't put that in, education systems.
They won't.
It's all controlled. So they only want to teach the students the most basic bullshit about the globe. And then, so what happens
right away, first thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Well, I think like past 5th grade, it's over, right? And after that, you wouldn't really want to care. I mean, when we all went to school, we hated it. Like, fucking school sucks, right? So you just want to get over it. No one ever goes back to research this stuff, anyways. And I think during the time of them doing all this, and
that's why they did it that way.
They created all these lies. I think that they were thinking, okay, well, we control the educational systems, we control the books, so it's over. It's a done deal. They didn't know that, YouTube would come out and there'd be people like us coming out and questioning things. That's why they're like, shit, what do we do? The algorithm, who's our fucking algorithm guy? Get him in here. Like, they were freaking out because Flat Earth was so big. It was like huge. It was everywhere. Related videos, they were just popping up like naturally, which we wish we all had that back. But, nowadays, as we all know, you're not going to be able to find any of this stuff. Unfortunately, you got to dig. And that's what sucks, man. I wish it was still peak mode.
Where they took the head of YouTube at that conference thing, and they're like, "So your plan is to basically put a little box,
the Wikipedia box,
under the
the Earth is not flat,
saying the Earth's not flat." It's like, all right,
and that's what they did.
Yeah,
that's what they did.
That is what they did.
The consent was there. Yeah, that's consent for you right there. They told you what they're going to do. They did it. But it got even worse this time, obviously. I mean, I tried this once recently. I just typed in flat Earth search, and I couldn't find any of.
You can't find one supporter
in this podcast. No, I found none of our videos that's in this podcast. And to the audience, you would think
not one supporter of flat Earth is in the when you type it in. Not one person for flat Earth is in.
It used to be kind of hard to find. Now we're out of it. Yeah,
nothing but memes and people clowning and joking and news segments saying they debunked it.
Well, it's weird because back in the day, when you used to, I used to call people and say, hey, because I was like weirded out by it at first. I'd say when I type in HIB on YouTube, it would just HIB. And it would fill it in for you, Hiller Productions. And that was from like 2016 to 2017, 2018. And I remember I'm like, maybe it's just my phone. You know how your phone is? It like keeps what you search for and stuff. And I would call people across the country that I know that lived in different, and say, just pull out your phone and look, and they'd tell me, yeah, HIB. And then you now that's gone. So you have to type my fucking entire name in to get my channel. And so they went hard. And again, I'm just a little guy, man. So they had to have gone hard and just wiped the floor clean on YouTube with flat earth stuff. They had to go, they probably had a whole crew, a whole pit of people working to get this done. And unfortunately, they, in a sense, they succeeded, but we're, there's alternative platforms for stuff like this. Well, It did.
It's not helping continually, but it helped us in the sense that like the people that notice like, oh wow, they're being censored. Why would they do that to them? That's the only way it helped. But
that did open people's eyes up though, and I think it did open people's eyes up that were skeptical about flat earthers and stuff. And they go, wait, why are they being shadow banned? I thought this was a stupid theory, and that has woken people up, Matt. So that's a good point, because that fact alone has made closed-minded people open their mind and go, you know what? Maybe we should look into this now, because why would they be hiding all these videos?
So the fact that, they're shadow banning us and they lost control for a little while and they're trying to get it back, it's too late. Because 5 years ago there wasn't enough of us to make a difference. Now there is. Now, and I was saying this earlier, if everybody that's in Flat Earth just spent a little time, one person a week, it's over in a couple of months. Couple of months. Just wake up one person a week. Use Eddie's book. Use my app. Use our podcast. Use whatever you can. Just make a playlist of the top 10 videos. 21 questions, level, 200 proofs, whatever you want. I have a playlist of all my short videos, right? And just give them to your friends. Watch them with your friends. If everybody did that, this is over in 2022. This is completely over. We have critical mass. We're at the tipping point. This is it. Now we just need everybody to just do something. Okay. I'm doing my job, right? It's not, I made it up myself. I created this myself. I did it because I want to wake people up. Eddie, what time is it, ODD?
I love it.
That's my assistant.
Eddie, Eddie is a teacher and he does these great videos. And Sean, you put this podcast together, Sean and Matt. So just do something. Share other people's work. Share your own work. Share whatever wakes people up.
However
and
you want
we're
to do
there.
it.
We are literally, the tipping point is 2022.
And everybody in this podcast tries to wake new people up in different ways, which is great. We don't all have the same style of how we do videos or how we try to inform, or maybe some speculate more than others. Doesn't matter. Everyone in here is just trying to wake people up. And I think you got 4 people in this podcast right now that do it in their own way. They do it in different ways, but it's working. It's working. Trust me. That's why they're freaking out. That's why they changed the algorithm. That's why they're doing everything that they possibly can, because they know it's probably too late. It's going to be a matter of time before the globe is as dumb as thinking that, 2 planes took down 7 buildings, I think. So there's different conspiracies that it's just it's over. Sorry, it's over. And this is getting there. We just got to keep going.
Hey, I in the middle of the night, researching while I'm sleeping, I woke up and I came up with something I'd never heard anyone talk about. I mentioned it the other day. So how this isn't the blue marble, but it's close to it's like the blue marble. They tell us, NASA says that they take this with strips of data, right? They come around, they take a strip. Now, what is that? Is an airplane doing that? Is it the ISS? What are they claiming?
Photoshop.
A drone.
They're claiming but strips of data. So if it's going as fast as the ISS, it takes 90 minutes for it to come around for the next one. What happens to this cloud in 90 minutes? How come all of the clouds line up? When it comes around to make the next strip, there should be a completely different weather system.
Well, it's just easier to do on Photoshop. That's all.
I know, but just thinking about it, yes, we know it's done in Photoshop. But for anybody that thinks it's real, explain how the clouds remain the same for the next pass and the next pass. There's like 20 strips going around?
That's a great debate question, David. Have you ever threw that out there during a debate?
I threw it out for the first time in an interview just yesterday or a couple days ago. I thought of it like 2:00 in the morning. I woke up. I'm like, wait a minute, I got to write that down. I'm like, no, this is a good one. I'll remember it. And I went to sleep and I did remember it.
And what happened when you brought it up?
I wrote it. People are like, that's a good idea. I got a lot of comments like, I've never heard that before. That's a good idea. So just think about it. Their lies suck. I would hate to be a baller because you have to lie about everything and you have to believe nonsense, and it literally sucks the life out of you, right?
Yeah, it definitely messes with their vibration as a human being. Constantly lying to themselves about everything around them and what's what, and that I'm just glad that we're getting out of that, or if we're not fully out of it, and that's what we want to do is get everybody on the same page here. It's just hard, man. They make it pretty hard for us to do, especially now.
When I think of cognitive dissonance, it just sounds the word to me, the visual present, like I see like somebody like twitching, like.
I'm having a cognitive dissonance moment.
like the truth wants to get in, but it's like something's like keeping it away.
That's the thing, though. I think they keep it away. They're so comfortable with the lies and their little comfortable bullshit fantasy life and their thoughts. It's all fantasy.
They can't help
they don't
it,
want to.
you
Yeah,
know?
they don't want to break out of it. They don't want to. And it's the bullshit fear of being ridiculed. And like, I don't want to be the one of my family that talks about this. I'm like, you're a bitch. Then.
Yeah. That's the one I hate. Is like if you do have the knowledge and you're like
you don't apply it.
You're basically becoming a flat earther, and you see it as the truth. Yet you hide and you won't admit it. Don't quit being a coward. Just don't do that.
Yeah, well, they live in fear, unfortunately.
Their job, their whoever. Yeah, don't be scared of anybody, man. That's just
so. Eddie, I have a question. Going back to the map for a second, and Australia, the size of Australia on the Gleason map. Australia stretches between 3 time zones. Are there 3 time zones in Australia in reality?
Yeah, that's it.
It is cut up just like that. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
All right, I like it. I'm in.
okay. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. That's a good point.
Yeah.
People would think it's really easy to measure, the distance across Australia. How do you do it? How do you measure it?
What do you
measure? How do you measure anything? I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, you got to take a car or some sort of vehicle and have just the
maybe like a laser,
something that keeps track of how long the miles. That
you could just keep. Wouldn't it like a mile counter? And
is there a straight road across Australia? You have
That's what I'm saying. Is there's going to be spots you can't do that. There's can't
keep going straight.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that, but
there's that hump to get through.
So you just see like you have 4 time zones in the US?
Let's do it with yarn. Yeah, we got 4.
4
time zones, right?
Yeah. So they say.
So you know how it stretches out the Gleason's map? That's why you have 3 time zones in Australia only, because it stretches out,
Right.
I mean, it's pretty clear. We have 3 also in Brazil, 3 time zones in Brazil, because it's much larger. If you compare to the globe, Brazil and US is about the same thing. Right. But when you see the reality on the Gleason's map, that's why we have 3 time zones in Brazil. It's much wider. And the lines of longitude, they are much wider.
Further down. That's why, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where the sun is located. Yeah, okay.
And they're out south. They're not down south. Out south.
Out.
Right, out
south.
Sure.
No more down.
Outer space.
Yeah.
Now,
heading out south or inner north.
Let me point this, David, because you're talking about south. Globers like to say south is in the middle, right?
Well, the bottom of the basketball, right?
Yeah, they say the middle. But they sing songs like the Land Down Under. You gotta go down to Mexico, like Hey Joe, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they say, because when I argue them, they say, no, south. There's no like rivers. The Amazon River, man, it has to climb the ball because it starts in the Pacific side of South America, goes all the way across the Amazon and empties in the Atlantic. It has to go up and down.
Yeah.
And then they say, no, on the globe, down is in the middle, in the center. But you sing songs like The Land Down Under,
Vegemite sandwich.
I mean, they contradict themselves a lot,
They do.
That's what they're filled with.
Yeah.
And they just love repeating, 5th grade science answers because they assume their audience is on board with the same information. You gotta broaden your horizon a little bit more. You gotta open your mind a little bit more. This is so many people will admit that the government lies to us about X, Y, and Z, but not this one. It's like no.
Yeah.
Yes, this one, 100%.
Yes,
a huge lie, and this opens the doors for so many other realms to people to wake up for. I mean,
I have to say this map right here with Amelia Earhart's all of her stops on it. When I show that to people, when someone brings up, well, what about Amelia Earhart? She flew around the world. I show this, they look at it, they're silent. They're like, like, whoa.
Yeah. Another point, David. I'm glad you brought that map up because they say, well, if you're traveling on the flat Earth, you gotta keep constantly turning left. Or
they think you have to turn your wheel the whole time. What are you going around your fucking block? What are you doing?
No.
Yeah.
So all flights around, they always go from point A to point B. They land like Amelia Earhart. She went to like for one day, and then she landed, and then she took the next one, next one,
Right.
next one, next one. That's how we go.
Yeah.
You know, you never go nonstop.
All those small chunks, you know.
Exactly.
Barely turning.
You
Yep.
don't notice. You wouldn't notice if you were on a track 100 miles around in a car on the ground. You would think you're driving straight.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even
Happens on the
notice
freeway all the
turn.
time. All of us driving the freeway. It's circling sometimes. You don't feel that.
Yeah, and then extend that out bigger, couple thousand miles bigger. Put that in
Seriously.
the air. You don't know anything.
No,
you
you
don't
always
know
gotta correct
that
to the
you're
north.
turning at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Or even being in a boat for that matter. Like, it's just,
So-
you can tell you're like every once in a while you gotta do a little something, but nothing. It's just,
Well, it's probably just cocking the wheel just a hair the whole
Yeah.
time.
Just
You let it
a
go.
little
You
bit.
just let it
Just a
go.
little
that's it.
You just let it go after that.
And-
You're going straight in your head.
And I've heard a couple, ships captains, Navy ships or cargo ship captains talk about when they're going dead reckoning in the Southern Oceans, east or west. They constantly have to, every hour or so, they have to adjust to the north a little bit. Well, in the South, you'd have to adjust to the south on a ball.
Yeah.
But the fact that they adjust to the north, one of them, it was an interview. And he asked the admiral or whatever, why, something's wrong with the rudder or something, because we had to do it in both directions. And they're like, God, don't worry about it. He was told, just like, forget about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Cool
Don't worry
story,
about
bro.
it. It's fine. So when they say, is everybody in on it? No, just the upper, maybe all the admirals know.
Yeah,
and
the lady that's
captains don't
printing
know.
the NASA magazine article, I don't know if she's in on it, but she's just doing her job, but there's higher ups that they've been in on it. Their families have been in on it. It's probably certain bloodlines that just keep everything in their inner core, and they try to play God from a human standpoint.
People
and
talk
we're
about
done
this.
with that shit.
They're like, all the teachers are in on it. You're saying everybody from NASA, every scientist, everybody in the world's in on it except us. Like, no.
Try probably under 20,000 people.
Way less. Probably.
I'm just giving a big number.
Yeah.
I'm giving them a big number to
that's
understand.
just-
Out of the
that's-
billions of people here, it's only a little bit of people that are doing
That's a
it.
very small number. Yeah. I mean, as compared to what we have on supposedly, I don't even believe in the
7 billion. No, I don't do
Give us-
7.
no.
I'd say 3 or 4. But either way, when it's 0.0 something percent that are running the show, it is a very small group of people that have put this together when they started this transition, and it's called having a family. You pass that on to your kids and you teach them how to rule the world and keep indoctrinating the world. I just hope that one day some bloodline just goes, we're done with this. We can't keep doing this. It's too much pressure. It's because we're the ones that are going to be putting pressure on them to keep this going.
They are never going to be seen, heard from. They're in their underground city, just living it up. But like, the thing is, these people are patient, man. They go generations of families that are just working towards the ultimate goal of the one world order. Yep. And Satan is just he's behind it all, putting it in their ears and living through them, or he lives vicariously through the Rockefellers. Nah, but seriously.
Oh, they'll wait another 200 years as long as it works for them.
Yeah,
they don't really have, you know what I mean? I get what you mean. Yeah.
Their patience is, it's like, it's wow, incredible.
Yeah, but we're here to crash their plans. We're here to crash the party. So that's what we're going to keep doing, crashing their fucking party.
Check
What's
this
up,
out.
Dave? Dave's got something on his mind. Look, I see his bottom lip twitching.
I'm good. I know how to cut in.
Yes, you do. What do you got, Dave?
No, that's it. I'm just listening. I got.
Oh shit. Okay.
I'm good.
I misread you.
Good. Matt had something.
I got something. Check it out.
What do you got, Matt?
I got to hit the audio. Share audio. Okay. Yep. Check it out. We got.
Oh, my favorite guy.
Still water is always level. Still water is always level. Always level. Always level. Level. Still water.
I like that. That's a good one, man.
That's hilarious. That's just a little short share.
Think he knows the Earth is flat?
Still water's always level. He probably still was a glober, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was a flat earther. To be honest,
it's possible.
A lot of artists, people are like artistic people, can see things more like that. You know?
Yeah. Well, they have a better understanding of the vanishing point perspective. They have to. That's they have to know that drawing perspective and vanishing points would make sense once they hear the flat Earth and what we have spoken about perspective. That I can't see a real artist being like, well, that makes no sense. Like, it's what you do for a living. What do you mean?
Well, there's the whole left brain, right brain thing, and
true.
I kind of believe in that. And if you're the analytical, logic, the number cruncher person, then you could easily be fooled, because all it is you're taking numbers. And like there's that quote from Tesla: scientists these days, they wonder mathematical equation after equation until they're in the land of fantasy. That's basically the truth.
Yeah. Good point, man.
And people that are artistic, you kind of you forget all that. You throw that out. You throw all that out, and you look at it the way you see it, the way like it's just real, what the reality is in front of you.
Very true.
Despite all the stuff you just said, which is true too. People knowing about vanishing points and all that stuff. The law of three or something? I forget what that is, but
hey,
I know what you're talking about.
Eddie, what is your thoughts of 2022? What do you think is going to happen with the world, with flat Earth, with awareness, with truth?
He said it's our year.
What's your feeling?
I think it's going to be a good year, man. We have a level headed to coming March, right? April.
The next level, April 22nd.
Next level. And as I said, man, I mean, people are opening their eyes. We have like 2 channels in Brazil. Like the guys came out at Flat Earthers, each one has 500,000 subscribers. I mean, this is huge, And they say there are 11 million Flat Earthers in Brazil. I believe the number goes to like 15 million, A lot of people, a lot of people.
Yeah, actually, I had a lot of downloads from Brazil for the first level on Vimeo. I had a lot. That was one of the highest countries besides the U.S. was Brazil downloading it on Vimeo. So thank you, Brazil. Appreciate it.
Eddie, are they Spanish speaking there? Or are they the
Portuguese?
Portuguese,
Spanish.
But I think there's a lot of English speakers. There's probably a lot of English speakers out there, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Yes.
Hope they understood the film when they
so hence my point. We are at the tipping point with your movie coming out, the movie you're in, Eddie, with these podcasters coming out. We're at the tipping point. Everybody needs to do their part right now, and it's over. It's over. And the faster we do it, the thing about flat Earth, why is flat Earth so important? I say it in every show. It's because once you wake up to flat Earth, you wake up to everything else, and you unplug from the matrix.
Right.
The globe is the plug that goes into your head, like Neo. Okay, that's what the globe is. Unplug from it. They no longer can suck your energy. They no longer can steal your soul. They no longer can do any of that, and you take it back. And then they are powerless as soon as enough of us wake up.
That's very true, man. We got to stop consenting and just do what we got to do, man. We know. Yeah. But Eddie, we're gonna.
I just want to say one thing. Like about 2 days ago, I think that documentary from Robbie Davidson, Impossible, was taken out of YouTube. So really? Yeah.
Impossible.
So we gotta watch out because YouTube might play some tricks. On Flat Earth.
Of course. That's why we're trying to spread the news about other platforms. BitChute, Rockfin, all those other ones. But we are going to end the show, guys. So until next week, anybody have any last words before we get out of here?
Just thanks for joining us, Eddie. It was a pleasure to be introduced to you. And look forward to speaking with you again soon. And we want you back on as well. So.
Hey, if you come to Asia because you're planning to visit Eric Dubay, stop by Japan.
Oh yeah, no. See, that's the thing. There's some. Well, Eric's not in this one. He's not going to be in this one. Maybe he'll be in part 3. But either way, with going across the country right now, with all the stuff going on, I don't even want to. I'm not even wearing a mask. I'm not going to be flying.
Domestic level.
I'd have to, I don't know if Photoshop can handle what I can. I mean, I don't know if the Photoshop cards are going to work anymore. They're trying to do QR codes for everything. So that's why for Santos Bonacci and Flat Earth British, Martin Leitke, I just got to get a videographer set in their country to come and visit with them. Cause I can't fly. I would love to, trust me. I'd be on my way, man. If we could, if it was 2017 airports right now, I'd be going anywhere you guys wanted me to go to get this done. But unfortunately, they're forcing me to, get a videographer to come out there. So it sucks. Yeah, it sucks. But that's the world we live in now, man. We can't just get up and fly somewhere that we want to go. So, but hopefully we get this world back to normal so we can get back to normal.
2022, baby.
2022. Why not? Let's do it.
Thanks,
all
everybody.
right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Eddie.
Triple Truth Podcast.